Yo, what is up guys? We are back, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can break Pokemon Sword and Shield. That's right, we found a way to guarantee that you get whatever raid you want, whenever you want it, and it's actually pretty mind-blowing how this works. I've been using this method myself to grind specific Gigantamaxes. If we actually go to, I believe, my Pokemon here, and we go in, you can see I have 4 Gigantamax Charizards. Each of these are Gigantamax Charizards. And I'm going to be collecting a lot of these Charizards because I'm going to be getting a shit ton of them and then just trading all of them away, just giving them away. So if you want a Gigantamax Charizard, stick around. But I also should say I have a full review of Pokemon Sword and Shield going up tomorrow, as well as a live stream later tonight. But if you want to see this method on how to guarantee any raid you want to do at any given time, we're going to hop right on in. So, right now, I am currently located at, let's see, where the hell am I? What's this place called? I forget the name of this place. We are at the Lake of Outrage, and each individual Pokemon den, like this one here, or that one over there that has a giant laser coming out of it, each individual den has a specific selection of Pokemon that it can give you. It also has, this is a really good example, if we look over there, that is a purple laser. Usually they give you red lasers, which I'm going to go over here just to see. See, look, those over there are red, that one's purple. Purple means that whatever Pokemon spawn there is a rare spawn. There are essentially 2 loot tables for each den. A loot table that is your common spawns and then your rare spawns. So the first thing we want to do is guarantee that we're going to be getting a rare spawn. So once you figure out which den spawns which raid that you want specifically, in this case, I'm going to be going for Gigantamax Charizard, which can be found at this specific den, and only this specific den as far as I'm aware. Also, a little tidbit, behind these rocks, you can find evolution items for the Eevees, which is really cool. So just, if you need to evolve an Eevee, just check behind these rocks. They have, like, all the evolution items for them. But anyway, that being said, we're going to go after a Gigantamax Charizard. Now, under normal circumstances, you'd be hard-pressed to find a Gigantamax raid. They're very rare. They do happen naturally. But we're going to guarantee that this raid right here gives us a Gigantamax Charizard. So the first thing we want to do is we want to press the X button to bring up our menu. We want to save the game. You want to make sure that autosave is off. This will not work if you have your autosave on. So to turn off autosave, you go to options, you go all the way down to where it says autosave, and you want to make sure that is off. If it is on, this will not work. Also, you want to be connected to the internet. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to press Y. Now that we've saved in front of the den that we want to try to get a raid from, we're going to press Y. Then we're going to press the plus button to connect to the internet. And give it a couple seconds, and there we go. Now we're connected to the internet. You have to be connected to the internet for this to work. And you can see there are other players here who potentially might also be looking for Charizards. I'm not sure. But anyway, now that we've done that, another thing you're going to want to do, and this step is not necessary, however, it will be very helpful, is you're going to want to go to text speed, and you're going to gonna want to turn that to slow. Now, this isn't necessary to do this, but it will make it a lot easier. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that we have a wishing piece on us, which, if I go to my bag, I should have several. Let's see, where are they? Are they here? There we go. I have 18 wishing pieces. If you do not have a wishing piece, you can sometimes find them on the ground throughout the wild area, but you can also get them from the various watt sellers. I believe they sell for 3,000 watts each, which this method we're going to be using not only guarantees us specific raids, whichever raid we want, but it will also give you a shit ton of watts. So you're going to want to have at least one wishing piece. Now that we've located the den that the raid we want is at, so in this case, Gigantamax Charizard, and we have the wishing piece, and we've turned autosaves off, and we've connected to the internet, and we've turned text speed down to slow. It's important that you do all of that. Now that we have done all of that, we're going to click on this den. It's going to say there's nothing in here. Do you want to throw in a wishing piece? Yes. Now, throwing in a wishing piece is going to spawn a raid at that location. It could be a common raid, it could be a rare raid. What we want to do is guarantee that it's going to give us a rare raid, the one with the purple beam. Now, in order to do that, this is very important. We're going to press yes that we want to save. And then almost immediately after pressing yes, press the home button. So, we're going to press yes. We're going to press the home button. And as you saw there, for a split second, it was red. We do not want a red raid. So, we are then going to close our game. We're going to reopen the game. And we'll still have our wishing piece. We'll still be exactly where we were. But that raid will not be there. Now, there's a brief moment of time in between clicking that you want to save the game and this game actually saving. And that actual save doesn't happen until the entire text has been laid out, which is why we turned our text speed down to slow, so we have enough time to press the home button to guarantee that we did not save. So if I actually go into my bag, you will see that before I had 18 wishing pieces, and now I still have 18. So I still have the one I just used. The raid is no longer here, but I still have the one that I just used. So we're going to go ahead and press it again. So throw in a wishing piece. We want to save. Yes, and we're going to... Oh, I did a little too soon. Alright, there we go. So that was also a red raid. So we're going to reset. And we're going to keep doing this until we get the purple raid. There we go. Okay, we finally got it. That took much longer than it normally does, but as you saw there, it was purple instead of red. So once you see that purple beam, you do not want to close out the game. You instead want to go back into the game. The game is now going to save. And there we go. So we have now saved the game. We've used our wishing piece. And we now guaranteed that we have this purple beam here. Now, that does not mean we get the raid we want. All this means is we have guaranteed that whatever we get off of this raid is going to be on the rare encounter table, not the common encounter table. So we still have to guarantee that we get the raid we want, which right now we're going for Gigantamax Charizard. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna click on this raid. First of all, I need to connect to the internet. So I'm gonna reconnect via the Ycom menu. And I'm gonna click on this raid. When I click on this raid, the game is going to essentially roll to determine what Pokemon this raid is going to be. So when I click on it, we will see we get a 3-star Torkoal. Now, if you wanted a 3-star Torkoal, there you go. You got him. Done. But I feel like most people do not want a 3-star Torkoal. So this next step is going to show you how you can change this raid to something else. Now, it is very important that you follow these steps exactly. If you do not, it will not work. So, we're connected to the internet. We're going to click Invite Others, which is going to start a counter on this raid. Immediately after that, we're going to go home. We're going to go to our system settings. We're going to go all the way down to system. We're going to go to date and time. We're going to turn synchronize clock off. We're going to go to date and time. We're going to move the date up by exactly 1 day. Then we're going to click OK. We're going to go back to the game, and we're going to leave the raid. Did you get that? If you did that exactly how I just did it, you're fine. So now that we have done that, what has happened is we still have our raid, but the game thinks it's a completely different day now, which means that because it's a different day, all the raids have reset. Which means if we go back into this, we will get 2,000 watts. You will get 2,000 watts every time you reset this. So you can also use this to farm watts. As you can see, I have nearly, up that way, I have nearly 200,000. So now that we've reset it, now it's a 4-star Ninetales, which again is not a Charizard. So we're going to follow that step again. We're going to click Invite Others. We're going to go immediately to the home menu, go all the way down to System, go to Date and Time, make sure Synchronize via the internet is off, go to Date and Time, move it up exactly 1 day, click OK, go back home, go back to the game, quit the raid, and now you can see that the date has changed again, the weather has changed. We're going to click, we're going to get our 2,000 watts, we're going to go back in, and now it's a 5-star Ninetales, which is pretty good, but still not a Charizard. So again, invite others. We're going to go system settings, system, date and time, change the date exactly 1 day, go back to the game, quit the raid, and then hop back in. So now, the weather has changed again. We're going to get our 2,000 watts again. Now I actually am over 200,000. And now we have a 4-star Torkoal. Now, you will see a lot of the same Pokemon while doing this, and sometimes you'll even get the same one in a row. But it is working. So long as it's changing, so long as you see that weather change, so long as you're seeing that you're getting 2,000 watts every time you click the den. If you do not get the 2,000 watts, then you're doing something wrong. So that being said, still not what we want. So I'm just going to go ahead and edit here. Now that you know the steps on how to do it, I'm just going to do like a time lapse until I actually get the Charizard to show up. So here we go. Time lapse in 3, 2, 1, go. And there we go. We finally got our Gigantamax Charizard after several resets. So now that you have the raid that you want, in this case I was going for a Gigantamax Charizard, now what you want to do is you want to quit, you want to save your game, and then you want to battle it, obviously. So you're going to go ahead and either invite other people to battle with you or try to do it yourself. But you're going to battle it, and then you're going to catch it, hopefully. If you do not catch it, that's not a big deal. You can just go ahead and go back and redo the raid again. Now that you have that save and you have this Charizard, or whatever raid you were going for, you can do the raid as many times as you want until you actually catch the thing. So once you've actually caught it, once you've actually battled it and all that, and you've caught it, go ahead and save your game a second time. I'm not going to actually battle it right now, but you're going to go ahead and save your game a second time, and then once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and just go to date and time, turn synchronize clock back on, and it'll automatically correct your date to the proper date and time, and then you're good. Then you have the Pokemon you wanted to battle, and there you go. I should mention, this is not a fast process. It took me roughly 40 minutes from starting the video to actually getting the Charizard to show up. So it's not a quick process. It's not. But it will guarantee you whatever raid you want, whenever you want. All you have to do is follow the steps that I have put up here, and just know which den spawns which raids you want. But I guess we're going to go ahead and battle this thing, because it looks like we have some people popping in. But yeah, so there you go. That is how you can guarantee whatever raid you want, whenever you want. And, you know, here we go. So now we have our Charizard. We're going to fight it. And I should also mention, I got well over 100,000 watts while doing that. So it's also a great way to get watts. You'll have more watts than you know what to do with if you're doing this. So we're going to go ahead and hop in. That is not shiny. Imagine if it was. That would have been amazing. This is also a good way to shiny hunt specific Gigantamaxes, because they can show up as shiny, and if you want a shiny that can Gigantamax, this is another good way to do it. So there you go. So I'm going to go ahead and Dynamax and go for Max Geyser, and we're just going to battle this thing. Maybe I'll catch it, maybe I won't. But there you go. So that is how you get yourself any raid you want, whenever you want, for only one wishing piece. So hopefully you guys found this helpful, and we're going to go ahead and battle this thing now.